Okay, we have 41% of college students age 18 through to 24 would spend their spring break at home in 2009. A sample of 160 college students was selected. So 0.41 and N was 160. So to find the standard error of your proportion, you're going to take P times 1 minus P and divide by the square root, which is 160. So 0.41 times 0.59 divided by 160, and then you're going to take the square root of that. And your standard error of your proportion is going to be 0.0389. Now, it says, what's the probability that less than 40% spent their spring break at home? So we already have the proportion. We want to know the probability that the proportion is less than or equal to 0.40. So we're going to do our z-score, which is the sample minus the population. Okay, and I need to backtrack here for a second to look at this again. Your sample proportion, that's what we're looking for, less than 40%. So less than 40% would be 0.40 minus 0.41 divided by our standard error of our proportion, which we got is 0.0389. So we're going to do 0.40 minus 0.41. And we're going to get negative 0.01, and we're going to divide that by 0.0389. And we're going to get negative 0.2571. So negative 0.2571. So we get the probability of 0.3986. Okay, and so our answer is acceptable. All right, what is the probability that more than 50% of the students? So this time we want to do more than 50, but we have to find less than 0.50 and use the complement rule. So we're going to do 0.50 minus 0.41 divided by 0.0389. Okay, so 0.50 minus 0.41 is going to be 0.09 divided by 0.0389. You're going to get 2.3136. And I am not sure why we're doing our z-score to 4 decimal places, but in some of these problems, we're using 4 decimal places instead of 2. Like we do in the table. 2.3136. Okay, so that is the probability of it being less than. To get the greater than probability, we're going to use the complement rule and say 1 minus the less than side. And that's going to give us 0.0103. Now the last one between 42 and 52%. So this time we have to do 2. We're going to do the probability that P is less than 52 and the probability that P is greater than or equal to 0.42. Okay. Actually, we're going to do less than because we're going to subtract that out. Remember, we're going to take the probability of the bigger one, probability of a smaller one and subtract them. So this is going to be 0.52 minus 41 over 0.0389. And this is going to be 0.42 minus 0.41 over 0.0389. So let's see what we get for those values. Okay, so I get 2.8278 and I get 0.2571. So let's look up the z values for both of those. So the first one is going to be 2.8278. Okay, and then the second one is going to be norm. We're still using norm. And we're going to put in 0.2571 true. Okay, and we're going to take the larger probability and subtract out the smaller to get the in between. So the probability of it being in between those values is 0.3962. Let me know if you have any questions.